to you.
So, first impressions of the Altai Hawk ski shoes is a success. Went up pretty slight hill, but unlike snowshoes, they glide really well through the snow. And it's it's not a steep hill. There's going to be a couple more of those. Stays right on top of the snow. Let's see if I can walk and show you at the same time. Just kind of glides right through there. It's really deep. There's a homer hole. Way faster than snowshoes, way easier than snowshoes, and not nearly as unwieldy as backcountry or cross-country skis. So, seems awesome. Well, another glorious Colorado winter. There's a foot of snow on the ground, fresh. It's about 35 degrees and I'm shedding layers like crazy because it's freaking hot out and the sun's bright and glorious. So here comes the first test. I'm going to try to take these things up that hill. I know there's no rocks up there because I went up here a couple weeks ago and there was no snow. So we'll see if I make it. Well, I'm up and over. It's a little slippier than snowshoes, but using my poles, it was fine. It was pretty steep too. I just had to do a little switchbacking. But all in all, on the flats, it's worth going uphill on these things because the skins are good. And as long as you have poles or a pole, now I'm back on the flat and it's worth it. I didn't do any downhill because I was in the trees and I haven't done anything on them yet. There's a area over here that I'm gonna try to ski a little bit down, see what happens. But oh man, this is awesome. Homer's having fun too. Some deep powder back here. No one's been back here since it snowed, it looked like. I think this is the first time I've been having an easier time go of it than Homer has. Just loving it. Here's my first downhill section. Nice little green run. We'll see how it treats me. I'm probably gonna fall, but I always fall. So hopefully I'll be able to get back up. Okay, so I do want to use these snowshoe skis as hunting skis as well. So for winter, like right now, when I'm hunting rabbits, which I am not doing right now because I don't want to bring my shotgun having never been on these things before. But probably I'm going to have to go through sometimes some thick stuff, especially when I get the lay of the land a little bit better to find those clearings and whatnot that the hares are going to stay in. So the road goes this way. I'm going to go up here through this thick timber and then loop back around and see how they handle the tight spaces and see if it's kind of a pain in the butt to move through this thick stuff while you're hunting, or breaking trail one way or another. Working great. I don't see a difference between them and snowshoes in the tight stuff. I'm even not using my poles so that if I'm carrying my shotgun or 22 or a rifle or something, I can see how that is. It's definitely better than post holing through all this stuff without anything on your feet. And like I said, the skins are really grabby, which without any poles, that's pretty good going up and down. So it's going to be a steep slope. You need a steep slope in order to really get these things to release. And I'm not going to do that in the trees by myself without having skied on them. But to kind of show you what I'm talking about, let's see if I can find. Yeah, this one's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice little slope down. I'm gonna try to walk down here while I'm talking to you. Yeah, see, not releasing. And that's a good thing, right? These are ski shoes, right? So they're not really for skiing. They're not floaty enough for this kind of stuff. Whereas I could probably get them to release if it was a backcountry ski. But I don't really want them to release, especially if I'm carrying around a shotgun. So I would, want to carry them on my poles, probably stuck on my bag with my gun until I decide to go downhill, and then I would get them to release. So yeah, I think for hunting and for just snowshoeing, for covering more ground than normal snowshoes, this bird is not happy that I'm walking through his area. I think they're amazing. They're short. I've been going through some stuff that I wouldn't normally walk through anyway because it's really tight, and they're very maneuverable because they're so short. You either just kind of turn them to the side or pick them up backwards and then flip them around. Really happy, highly recommend them. They're really sticky. Those skins work really well. It's really hard to get them to release. And it's also kind of weird that they really want you to keep your weight back instead of forward on your toes, because the bindings, I guess, are a little bit further back, right towards the middle, and they release differently. So I'm gonna have to get used to them a little bit, but I can see it being really fun because when I'm skiing, I'm a terrible skier and I keep my weight back anyway and I fall over all the time. So I think being able to control my speed is gonna make going down those steeper hills a lot better. Winter Wonderland. Okay, so another reason I came out here was to check out these new 147 grain buffalo boar. I've been racking my brain as to whether or not to buy a bigger gun for woods carry, and I have decided that I don't really have the money to be playing around a lot with all kinds of different guns. So I'm going to try to make the best with what I have. That may be the best thing, may not. And I'm skeptical about bullet technology versus a 9mm. I mean, I carry a 9mm for self-defense and just for fun. It was my first gun. I'm really comfortable with it. But I always felt a little sketchy bringing it out, especially in the summertime when I'm fishing and I don't have my shotgun or rifle on me. There's moose and black bears and lions. So I'm going to see if my gun feeds these okay, and if they do, I'm going to start carrying these big plus P 147 grain instead of the 115 grain ball ammo that I've been carrying, and I'll feel a little bit better. Homer is hiding, good dog, and I got some deadly half stumps here that I'm going to try to annihilate. Okay, I think that's a success. 3 of them ran absolutely no problem. A little bit bigger of a punch than normal, but I'm pretty sure I killed the bleep out of that stump. So I feel comfortable carrying these instead of just, like I said, the regular 115 ball ammo, which is what I was carrying. So now I'm gonna start buying more bullets, I guess. Gotta put the magazine in. Well, that's good to know. I was just talking about how it's really difficult for them to get to release. Well, apparently I had gone over a small stream a minute ago, and one of my skis got a little wet, and it looks like on the skin, snow really started to stick and there's a big old clump. So it was a break. So I cleaned that off, and because I wasn't gliding very well, or I was only gliding with my one ski because the snow's gotten a little slicker here in the sunlight. So I'm gonna see how that goes and see if there's an update or whether that was causing me not to go down, and now I wonder if I would have had a little bit more fun on that tiny little hill. Whew, well, that was tough. Just came down the hill. Snow's getting real slick, and haven't learned how to switch between snowshoeing and skiing yet. So my feet were kind of out of position a lot. I fell a couple times, slid down a couple times once I started getting the hang of it, but every once in a while they would release before I was ready to start skiing, and that was kind of problematic for me. So I need to just practice being ready to always ski or something. I don't know. Still fun. I did it. I just walked down a couple times sideways, but everything is gone. You know, that's the good benefit of skis too. If you fall, you just fall right on your side and get up. Back at it again with the Altai Hoks. They're pretty good. Last time they were getting wet because the snow was a little moist because it was hot out. It's snowing right now. It's a little warm, but it's good. There's nice powder on the ground. They're releasing well. It's a completely different thing. So it's really easy to go downhill and slide across the flat areas. So yeah, springtime skiing, wet skiing, there's gonna be some issues, but it looks like with nice powder and snow, they're doing great. As long as you keep your weight back and your tips up on the downhill, So much better than snowshoeing. Just gliding right along, going down small slopes, skiing down as much as I can. Getting used to them so I'm not going crazy, especially I'm out here by myself. But man, this is awesome. Just gliding right along. Not using my poles again just to see how it is to walk, and man, this is great. Just making a lot of time, not post holing like you do even with snowshoes a lot of the time. Just staying floating right on top, but like I said, just keep your tips up, watch for deadfall. I've gotten hooked a couple times and fallen forward straight onto it, but just keep your tips up.